So I'm going to focus primarily today on what I call a surplus budget. Does everybody have pen and paper? So it's a very simple method that I'm going to share with you. And I will say that this method of budgeting was very, very important to me at the beginning stages of uh, my adulthood as it relates to me getting my own place, me establishing savings, me getting my own vehicle, and things of that nature. So, as a quick example, you may not have all of the factors today, but I'm going to show you how you go about creating a surplus budget. So, it's very basic. You want to budget the average or less. Let's say you have expenses that are going out the door each month. And let's say your electric bill in this season is 150, 175, 125. You want to budget your electric bill to be 175. So budget conservatively so that your surplus is not less than what you expected at the end of the month, but it's more than what you expected at the end of the month. So if everybody would like to take some time and you could start your surplus budget today, list out what your income is. You want to list out your offerings because we're all Yah-fearing people here. So I can't tell you how to budget your money or what to do with your money. You know what I'm saying? But I would encourage you to put some money aside for Yah every month if that's the case, or just make sure that you are giving on a regular basis and that all of your money is not going to your personal needs. So you want to budget offerings and you want to budget your bills every month. Now, some bills may be more difficult to calculate than others. And it's so amazing how y'all lines things up. Because what's today? November 2nd. It's the beginning of the month. You could actually start your budgeting process today if it's something that you're serious about. So one of the things that's a little bit more difficult to budget in a lot of instances is transportation. That could kind of, you don't get a bill every month. So you're in a position today where tomorrow's Sunday. You could keep track of all of your transportation from Sunday through Saturday of next week, multiply that by 4.25 or 4.5, and that's your travel budget for the month. So keep that in mind. So what you're going to do with the surplus budget is you're going to list out your bills, you're going to list out your offerings, you're going to list out your monthly income, and then you're going to have your surplus. It's up to you what you do with your surplus. But I know for me, I had to save for a car. I had to save to put uh, a security deposit down on an apartment. These are things that I had to account for in me starting out my life as a young man. Business is very important, but if you're doing business, and you're not taking nothing that you're making and doing anything enjoyable with what you worked hard to earn, you're doing yourself a disservice. So those four areas, right? I know at an earlier stage in my life for emergencies, I might have budgeted 50 to $100 out of my budget. Your number for that amount may be different. You may not have a vehicle, so you may not be concerned with if your car breaks down or if you get a flat tire or something of that nature. So you still want a budget though to have something set aside for emergency type situations. As far as what your investments are going to be, you have to decide for yourself, how much money you want to set aside for your investments, how much money you want to set aside for your savings. And as far as enjoying your portion, that's where you have the flexibility to say, you know what? I want to, my, my surplus is budgeted to be $300 a month. Just throw a number out there. But I want to save 200 of that. That means you're going to have this much put away for enjoying your portion. To me, that's this much because I enjoy my portion. You know what I mean? I'm just keeping it funky. I mean, how I move. So you have to budget to what it is that you want to do with your surplus. You know what I'm saying? Or you could say, you know what? I know that I spend $150 a
I'm
month
gonna need
on
you to
eating
operate this
out,
for me, okay?
taking my wife out, whatever the
All you
case
have to
may
do is hit
be,
enter every time I tell you,
$200, and then you know everything you have in excess of
okay?
that is what you utilize for your surplus. So I don't have a whole lot today. You know what I'm saying? I just wanted to touch on a couple of points. Another thing that I would suggest that everybody do is create a budget to actual variance.
Mm-hmm. Mm.
A budget to actual variance. So you list out your income in one column, you Excel spreadsheet, actual income, actual expenses, actual offering in one column, budgeted income, budgeted expenses, budgeted offerings in another column. And you get to see the disparity between what it is you budgeted and what you actually spent. And then you could begin to realize, okay, where am I spending what I said that I was going to spend each month? And you could focus more time and energy into those areas where you know you are exceeding your budget. And this last piece that I have is going to be essentially important for those of us that end up getting married. Sirach 33, 19 and 21. Book of Sirach, chapter 9, 33 and 19. Give not thy son and wife, thy brother and friend, power over thee while thou livest, and give not thy goods to another, lest it repent thee, and thou entreat for the same again. As long as thou livest and hast breath in thee, give not thyself over to any.
Amen.
Sometimes
Right there.
I know when I
No.
came into the walk, I didn't fully grasp the understanding of me being
No.
the priest and leader over my home. I did not fully understand and grasp the fact that I was the one that had to have ownership over my situation. So when I got married, wife had an account, I had an account. She spent her money, I spent my money. And then I realized, well, if I keep on doing this, my wife's going to always spend all her money up before the next check. I'm just keeping it 100. Not to say anything against my wife. She just has that aspect of her personality. Sometimes it's the male in a relationship that spins, 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 and the woman is a little bit more conservative. I know that I was a little bit more conservative with her than her when it comes to stuff like that. So what I had to do over time is I had to incorporate a system in our household where all the money comes into the middle. And she gets a set amount of money each month that she could do whatever she wants to do with that money. You know what I'm saying? And I will say, in some instances, the man is not as financially savvy. If you trust your wife, as long as you have ownership over the accounts, as long as you're the one that has authority over the situation, it's okay for her to give you a portion as well for you to spend each month if you trust her. But what I will say when it's all said and done is you have to have authority over your situation. You have to know what's going in and what's coming out. If you do have your wife as the one that's in the back office taking care of all of the budgeting and the finances, I wouldn't just leave her to that. Not to say that you don't trust her, but she may be making a mistake. There may be something that she didn't budget for correctly. There may be something that she missed in your conversation. So you be, hey, babe, that's not what I said. I said we was only budgeting this much for this area. So that you can move along properly with the goals and the intents that you have that were given to you by the Most High. because ultimately she's there to be a helpmate. You have a mission and an assignment from Yah, whatever that is for you individually, and she is to help you to achieve your calling.